welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Jennifer, and I'm so glad that you are here tonight with our optimal health community from all across the country. In fact, if you're watching live, put in the chat where you are coming from. I'm excited you're here because tonight's conversation is all about building summer structure because summer can bring sunshine, memories, vacation, barbecues, graduation, and if we're honest, a little chaos too. So even though it's not summer yet, it's spring, we want to be planning now. And the good news is that structure doesn't have to mean rigid rules. It can simply mean creating rhythms that help you enjoy the season and stay aligned with your health goals. Tonight is about learning how to prepare now so you can thrive this summer instead of just trying to survive it. So we are honored to have two incredible women leading this conversation tonight. First, Amber Lia, best-selling author, writer, and health coach who truly understands what it means to build health in the middle of real life. As a mom of four boys, she calls her home a testosterone home. So she knows a thing or two about busy, loud, and active seasons. 8 years ago, Amber began her own health journey and released 95 pounds. That's right, give her a shout out in the chat. And she really discovered that lasting transformation comes through simple, sustainable habits, not perfection. Today, she is passionate about helping others feel confident, energized, and prepared for every season of life. And joining Amber is Tricia Goyer. She's an author, homeschooler, mom of 10, yes, I said 10, and grandma to more than a dozen. And for years, Tricia believed health just wasn't possible in a full and busy life. But through simple structure and support, everything changed. And she has lost what she calls a checked bag plus a carry-on in weight. Perfect for our theme tonight. Her husband has lost 70 pounds, and together they've made health a priority in their home. She brings such a relatable and encouraging perspective for anyone who has ever thought, I just can't. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, these two amazing women are going to share practical wisdom, real life strategies, and encouragement to help us all step into summer with confidence and peace. So grab a notebook, lean in, and let's give a warm welcome to Amber Lia and Tricia Goyer. Ladies, welcome to the webinar. I'm so excited you're here and to learn from you. The floor is yours.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jen. Jen, you're the best. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that Trisha's here with me because she is one of my besties from a long time. We've been friends and we've been journeying together on this health path for a long time together too. So we're excited because, I always say moms get things done. We know how to be organized. We know how to get into structure. Otherwise, it's chaos when you have, 14 kids like Trisha and I do among us. So we're glad to be able to be here and talk you through some of the structure tips and preparation just to help you be successful on your health journey. And I just want to lay a little bit of a foundation for us and say, if you missed the previous episode, go back and listen to it because the Mills did a fantastic job really helping us to understand the importance of why we're on this health journey as it relates to visceral fat versus the subcutaneous fat in our bodies. And if you listen to that episode, you learned how the fat in your body impacts so much more than your appearance. It's going to affect your hormones, your heart and lungs, your energy levels, insulin resistance, cravings, inflammation, and even your risk for chronic disease. And that's what I got to say goodbye to, all of those conditions that was such a struggle with me for so long. When I finally got healthy, it was life-changing. And we do not want our health to take a back seat just because we're going on a vacation or it's summertime and the weather's beautiful and there's lots of celebrations. We want to keep the main thing, the main thing. And here's an important thing to remember. Summer doesn't know that you're on a health journey. It's just living its best life. And so we have to pay attention that it's summer and we get to take advantage of the fact that we have a lot of opportunities to continue on our health journey and not be derailed. So this is going to be an amazing conversation with Tricia, and I can't wait to learn from her. I know that, we both commiserate a lot about the things that we're doing to stay on our health journey as moms with big families and in all the different seasons. So Tricia, give us some good tips and tell us why you're here, why you want to talk about this topic.
Well, what I love is that, I think so many of us come to this program and we're like, we just want to lose weight. We're just thinking about, we want to look better in summer in those shorts or that swimsuit. Um, and often we don't know how to get there. I remember when I reached out to Amber, it was actually because I had a horrible summer vacation and weight loss was number one on my mind, but we actually had gone to Washington, D.C. as a family. Now, as a homeschool family, we'd been planning and saving for years, and walking around with my family in Washington, D.C. in July when I was 90 pounds overweight was completely miserable. My family was having to wait for me. I was just red faced and huffing and puffing. My feet were killing me. I remember halfway through the day, all I wanted to do was go back to the hotel room and take a nap. And I thought, I have been planning and saving, and I'm not even enjoying that. And it was really that moment where I started thinking, I want things to change. Again, first I was only thinking of weight loss, but the following spring, as I was thinking about summer again, so 3 years ago this month, I reached out to Amber, who's my coach, and I said, I need help. And what I love now is that my summers are completely different. And we have to also think about, as we're thinking about the why, not only looking better in those outfits and those bathing suits, but also the non-scale victory. So my first encouragement is just think of what is your non-scale victory. Do you have an idea of what that is? And so I kind of created a non-scale victory map of things we can just think about as we're thinking about where we want to be. So now I can look back and say, I have more energy. Yes, my clothes fit better, but I also have more confidence. I have freedom over food. You can take me to an ice cream Sunday party and I have no desire, which before 3 years ago, there would have been no way. I sleep better, I have more strength, I have more endurance, my skin is healthier, my hair is better from hydration, I have more mindfulness of what I do, my choices are different. And so think about as we're thinking of this journey into summer, not just the wait for looking better, but also we're gonna have more energy. And I got to see that. Last summer, we were able to go to some theme parks. We went in July in summer with 3 days of every theme park ride with my teenagers, and then followed up with 4 days at a conference where I was speaking at, and 4 days of interacting with people on the floor. And I was loving it. I had their energy, and those are some of those non-scale victories. So as we're thinking about this, think about the gift that you're giving to your future self. And I think that helps me when I think about my why. It's not just, do I want this now, but who do I want to be next summer? What type of energy do I want to have? Look at these non-scale victories. And so that's just really my first encouragement. We need to protect our progress and put that structure in place so that next summer or this summer coming up, we can really enjoy it and have the energy to have those fun times with our family.
Yes, and Trisha, I just saw that Valerie put in the comments that her non-scale victory is being clear-minded, more energy, and she's on no medication. And then also Lucy said she's not needing a seatbelt extender, which is cool. So like when you're going on those trips and you're flying and you don't need a seatbelt extender, like that's amazing. So congratulations, you guys. This is what it's all about, to your point, Trisha. So thank you for sharing that. Trisha and I really want to encourage you. Our Optavia community wants to encourage you to take advantage of this season.
Mhm.
Sometimes we think about, okay, summer's coming and it strikes a little fear, or how are we going to navigate things? But we'd encourage you to just work on your mindset and take advantage of this season. Look at it with an optimistic mindset because it's such a fantastic time to actually really grow on your health journey. So these tips that we're about to share, they aren't just nice ideas. They're actively going to help support fat loss and optimal health, mindset, healthy mind, even healthy wallet. Because someone put in the comments about, saving money when you're on trips because you've got your fuelings right on. That's one of my favorite things about travel as well. So, Trisha, tell us a little bit about healthy body tips.
Okay, so when I think about what I want to do to stay on plan when I go on vacation, I make sure I pack everything I need. So I have a kind of travel trunk. I get those, those zipper bags, and I put in fuelings enough for the trip. I have my shaker cup. Also, one tip that I do and that I encourage my clients to do is to consider splitting your lean and green meal. So if you're going to be on vacation, you know you're going to be out with for multiple times eating out. Have half of your lean and green for lunch, half of it for dinner. You're get your water in, and really you can sit down and you can enjoy that time with your family. No one will even realize you're just having the side salad with a little piece of salmon. They are just wanting you there, enjoying that time with them. So split that lean and green meal into two. Also, do you know how they have those different flights? One of our restaurants, Amber near us, has a bacon flight where they have all these. Yeah, I took a little bite of one once, but they lay out all the different flavors. You can do that with your water for hydration. So in the
Yeah, ditch
morning,
the bacon
it's
and
the bacon. Don't do the
replace
bacon.
it with water. Yeah.
Yes. So in the morning, when you first wake up, after you're getting your day going, set one with maybe some cucumbers in it. Put some mint in one. I love the infusers, Optavia infusers, and set up all your water for the day. So when you're running out the door, you can just grab it when you're in the yard with the kids, when you're going to the water slides, wherever. Those are all done. And then also remember just to do the fuelings, the 6 meals. Keep that consistent. I know sometimes our summer schedules are completely out of whack, but as much as you can, just keep consistent on those things. It's just because our body needs that fuel to keep going, to keep energized. And then, of course, our blood sugar is stabilized. So when other people are eating the ice cream or pulling those treats, because our blood sugar is stabilized and we don't have those big sugar crashes, then we can definitely say no to those things because we have what we need with us. And then the final thing I will share is have a grab and go kit in your car. So usually I'll take a little cooler and put ice packs in there with the fuelings because I discovered they do melt if you are keeping your car in the sun for a while. I live in Arkansas. So have those things, again, have a cooler packed in your freezer packs ready to go. So just throw them in the car when your kids want to go to the park or go on these outings, or you're visiting with family. Just know that have those things ready, and it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and it really helps me too, Trisha, when I have that grab and go car kit, to not go through fast food, busy
Mhm.
afternoons. And sometimes my kids will even say to me, "Can we go here? Can we go through there?" On the way from an event. And it's like, we don't even have to spend the money or face the temptation because we've got good, healthy options for everybody in the
Yes.
car. So that's one of my big go-to things. Okay, some of my favorite tips are sundown batch grilling. This is a lifesaver for me. My husband Guy and I both love to grill, and so we want to beat the heat with evening eats.
I
So
love that.
use the cooler evening hours to grill your lean and green proteins for the entire week. This is one of my favorite things to do because it minimizes again that temptation to go grab something that's not on plan. When I know I have the healthy options already prepared, and I don't have to make my house hot because I'm grilling outside in the evening, maybe on the weekend, and then I've just got the preparing of the fresh, fish or chicken, lean beef. Doing that in advance allows us to assemble just quick salads or wrap in a lettuce wrap or some such thing without heating up the kitchen. So that's one of my favorite things. And if you've got great ideas, guys, we would love to hear your suggestions in the chat too, because you all are smart, and a lot of you have been walking on this health journey for a long time. We'd love to hear some of your best tips for beating the heat, and also for prepping your meals during the summer months. So put those in the chat so we can notice those as well.
Yeah, and I
Okay,
love
Trisha, what about healthy mind?
Yeah, and I think one of the things that helped me the most, I remember Amber when we first had a conversation and you called to check on me, and I'm telling you, this child, we're having these issues, and this child, and you're like, Trisha, I think you're in that drama triangle. Why don't you go read Element 4 of the Life Book? And I'm like, what do you mean? I thought we were just like eating the fuelings, and oh, I'm supposed to open this Life Book up? I love the Life Book now. I love Element 4, but one of the things I learned is we have to keep our mind healthy, and one of the ways I do that is with gratitude. I remember when I first started on plan and having these amazing feelings and lean and green. And I saw the scale dropping and I felt healthier in so many ways. I was just like, I cannot believe I get to eat all this wonderful, yummy food and feel so great and lose weight. And so really having gratitude. So when you set your alarms for your fueling, just have that time to just be thankful that your body's getting the protein it needs, it's getting the vitamins it needs, the probiotics, everything, and it tastes delicious. I still have my favorite feelings. I just am so grateful for them. And then also taking those times in summer to have that little break and really enjoy those feelings or enjoy our lean and green meals. I love books. I mean, you can tell from my office, I write books, but just getting out your life book during those times when you're sitting down with your fueling, with your water, and just taking 5 minutes and reading from your life book, you're training your mind. And I know when I first started the program, went and watched these videos. I just like would watch them every day. So you could either get a book, watch a video, and just that feeding of your mind can really just help you, encourage you, and support you because it's a change of thought process that's going to keep us on program. Eating healthy, eating 6 times a day. It's not just, for this season, it's the mind and the change is there. And then
Because
also,
the food, Trisha, part is always what people focus on when they're trying to
yes.
diet. And that's what I love about what we do here is we really want to shift that mindset to this is about lifelong health and wellness. This is about optimal health. And that's mind, body, spirit, finances. And I love that you're encouraging us to pair those things. It's like when you're having your fueling or when you're having your meal, take time to go to gratitude, take time to educate yourself a little bit more. Those are simple, easy things that all of us can do.
hmm And just the last tip, we mentioned prepping the night before. Pick out your 5 fuelings. Think of your lean and green meal. You can even write the times on them. If you know you're going to have one, 7 a.m., then 9:30. Write the times on it with a Sharpie. One of my clients came up with that. That's so helpful, and it just gets your mind set. You already know what you're going to do, so it's not a decision. Should I eat my fueling or whatever I cooked for my kids because they're home for the summer, or whatever is in the refrigerator? It's already, the time's there and your mind is already set, and it just helps prepare your mind too, by getting those things ready for the next day.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that a lot of us struggle with in any season is that decision fatigue. We're making so many decisions in a day. And the more that we can eliminate that, it frees up room for you to focus on what are you learning in your life book journal, or, even just going to a time of having peace and quiet for a minute.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that because summer is also a great time to protect your peace and do a little bit of soul, mind, body, spirit care. And how can we prepare to do that? Because summer can feel extremely busy. I think every year I say to myself, tell me in the chat if this resonates with you, that you think, oh, summer's here. Especially if you have families, maybe it's time that we get to have a little more margin, a little more free time. But I feel like we fill it just as quickly as the time comes, we fill it. And so we want to protect our margin because when we start to get stressed, when we start to not have time to prepare, that's when things can go sideways in our health journey. So here are a couple of tips. I've started doing this already because it's spring right now, but the weather's turning nice. And so as soon as I see a little bit of that daylight and I have a minute in between my work schedule or whatever I'm doing, I'm going right outside. I'm sitting on the grass, or I'm putting my feet in the grass, or I'm pulling out a quick little portable chair and just sit outside with no phone for 10 minutes.
Mm.
Just sit and practice just breathing. We talk a lot, Dr. Anderson talks about the helpfulness of taking deep breaths in the Lifebook Journal. And so that's just a perfect opportunity for us to do that and just to slow down, to work on some of the stress or the anxiety that we may be feeling. And then to your point, Trisha, about even using the alarm for your timing of your meals as an opportunity to just also move to gratitude. Gratitude journaling. I will do this even just in the morning when I wake up. I'll just have a little open book And before I do anything else, I just write something that I'm thankful for already for the day, or something from the last 24 hours that I can be grateful for. Starting your day that way is so good for our healthy mindset. And I like to, when I'm on a health journey or I'm reaching a new goal, I like to center my gratitude even around that health goal. So it's like, maybe I'm not really loving going to the gym, but I can still find gratitude. I can say, I'm so glad that I get to go to the gym today and that
And
I
then our
can do.
bodies can move. Our bodies can move. We
That's
have more
right.
energy. We can
That's right.
enjoy the outside. I mean, it is such a
Yes.
gift.
Yeah, and this matters because the chronic stress that a lot of us feel elevates our cortisol, and that increases belly fat storage and it breaks down our muscles. So we want to have peaceful rhythms and healthy minds so that our bodies can heal. We don't want to always be hustling. So one other thing that is really a helpful tip for helping us stay in structure with healthy movement, because that's also part of our health journey, is that we want to do little mini movements. Okay. I think this is more important than people realize. I talk to my clients about this all the time. I used to be the mindset that I had to do big movements or lots of major effort right from the beginning. And Dr. A actually cautions us against that. He wants us to start small if you haven't really been doing much of this yet. But small steps lead to big strides. So 5 minutes of stretching in the morning, or a short walk during the cooler golden hour before sunset. You guys, that is like one of my favorite times. If you can do a little walk in the golden hour or even at sunrise, it is so peace filled, and it's just a great way to have a small, consistent movement, even if it's just 5 minutes. And that leads to significant results over time. In element 17 of the Lifebook Journal, Dr. Anderson highlights NEAT, NEAT, non-exercise activity. And these are the voluntary and unconscious movements we make as we go about our lives. And if you start putting in place just a stretching period in between meetings, or going outside for a minute and just doing a little bit of a 5-minute walk, that becomes habitual and easy to do. You don't even think about it. So use the weather as your advantage right now. Summer is like your built-in gift. Use it. Do those morning walks before the heat. The sunlight also helps your circadian rhythm. Grab your family. Don't just send the kids to the pool. Join them. It was a goal of mine when I was wanting to lose 95 pounds to get back on the trampoline with my kids. So get on the trampoline, do pool time as a family, walk after dinner as a family, do yard games, and even do little movement snacks, 10-minute bursts throughout the day. Doesn't have to be full on kayaking down a river every day. Just the little movement snacks can go a long way. And this matters because walking after your meals helps your glucose uptake. It improves your insulin sensitivity. Consistent movement is signaling your body to burn fat while preserving muscle. And that's what we're all about. So those are some
I
of my
love
tips.
that. And another thing about summer is family. So one of my daughters lives in Europe. She teaches over there, and her and her family come for the summer. And so we have lots of family around because everyone's coming to see her. And, I always make sure to have those healthy snacks for the kids. 4th of July, make sure you're the one bringing healthy snacks. I remember at our church one time, they said, we're going to bring hamburgers and hot dogs. Everyone bring a dessert. I'm like, well, I'm not bringing dessert. I brought a vegetable tray, and people thanked me for bringing the vegetable tray. It was not a dessert, but be the one to bring the salads, to bring the vegetable trays, to bring, the healthy things to the gathering, and then you'll have something there. So when you're going to those things, plan it, and I'm always amazed when I bring the healthy things and everyone sees me making those choices. Pretty soon they're not picking up the cupcake; they're going for the healthy choices. So we can be examples there, and we feel better afterwards. We could actually enjoy the time instead of going into a sugar coma afterwards. So be the one to
Right.
bring the healthy snacks.
Yeah, and I always say that I want to be the one having more influence on the people at the gathering than they're having on me. And you guys, that is what we're all about. We want to pay it forward, lead by example. So I love that you shared that, Trisha. Another thing that's helpful for me with the mindset related to gatherings and when we're getting together with other people that maybe they don't have the same mindset about healthy lifestyle that we do is, we want to think in terms of just our identity, not the event itself. So instead of how do I survive this vacation, we can think and shift to what would a healthy person do here? What would a healthy person bring to this event? What would a healthy person think about when they're at this gathering? And so these are really helpful things that you can do to prepare ahead of time. Don't just show up somewhere unprepared and without that structure, not just what you're bringing food wise, but even your mindset. What would a healthy person do here? How would a healthy person enjoy this vacation? They would notice the scenery, the decorations, the fellowship, the people that they're with. It doesn't have to always be just about the food. So we want to stay consistent, not perfect. Focus on who you are becoming, not just what you're doing. This is so key because there's a lot of doing in summertime, lots of stuff going on. So don't focus just on what you're doing. Really take time to stop and think about who are you becoming this summer on your health journey? What does that look like for you? That's core to Optavia's macro habits. We're building lifelong neural pathways, not temporary discipline where we just have to have willpower. Nope, we are becoming people who think and behave differently. Decide on your healthy boundaries before your events. Stick to the plan or decide you're going to skip sugary drinks. Visualize your success while you're there. This is going to strengthen those neural pathways and reduce impulsive decisions ahead of time. I know when I go there, I'm going to have this, I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be my focus. Really work on visualizing that success. That's going to help you because a pre-decided mindset is going to lower the stress, the decision fatigue. You're already visualizing yourself in a place of victory. So that's it.
And I love that. And it becomes a habit. And that's what I love about this is, before we had to like train ourselves to go get the fueling, to prepare our water. Now I get up, I get dressed, I pull out my fueling, I make my water, I either go for a walk or turn on my little exercise video. It's such a habit, but it was built one habit at a time. And I'm so thankful that woman in 2023 decided to reach out to her friend and say, okay, you were right. I need to do this program with you because now those things are habits for me. And I love it. And I am an example for my family. I have so much more energy when we're enjoying those summer things together. So just know that it is building that one habit at a time that makes all the difference.
I love that we can have these conversations together now, Trisha, about being healthy together because you are one of my closest friends and I loved you and I didn't want you to miss out on living life to the full with Optavia and in this community. So thank you for journeying with me and thank all of you too.
Wow. Can we just give a huge thank you to Amber Leah and Trisha Goyer for such an encouraging and practical presentation tonight. Thank you both so much for sharing your wisdom, your honesty, and real life strategies that remind us healthy living is possible in every season, including summer. I took so many notes, you guys. I'm sure many people did tonight. And I love that idea of envisioning how I want to feel in the summer and making the choices now to help make that happen. So I feel equipped, thanks to both of you, to navigate my travels this summer and for life, honestly. So thank you, ladies. As we wrap up tonight, we want to remind you that if you'd like to listen again or share this message with somebody else, recordings of our Let's Talk webinars are available on the Optimal Health Community podcast. You can find episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major podcast platforms. Just search Optimal Health Community. And don't forget to join us next Monday for another Let's Talk webinar. Our Health Pros Live Q&A happens the final Monday of every month. And believe it or not, the end of April is coming up next week. So make sure that you bring your questions and answers. You'll get to hear from our professionals and get your questions answered live. So make plans now to be with us. Thank you all for spending part of your evening with us. Keep showing up, keep taking the next right step, and keep building the healthy life that you were created for. Thank you, ladies, and have a blessed night, everybody. Good night.